They say the smallest things can change the world. A single line of code, a careless click, a joke that went too far. This story begins not with a spy in a trench coat or a hacker in a dark room, but with a meme. A meme so absurd, so meaningless, that no one could have imagined it would unravel an entire nation's secrets. But behind that joke was a man, lonely, brilliant, and desperate to matter. His name was Elias Kane, and in 2021, for the price of a laugh, he sold out his own country. Elias wasn't born a villain. He was born in a small industrial city on the outskirts of Oslo, the kind of place where winter feels permanent and ambition freezes before it ever grows. He spent his childhood tinkering with broken radios, typing on scavenged keyboards, learning how invisible systems made the visible world work. By 16, he was hacking school firewalls. By 20, he was inside defense research networks, not for money, not for ideology, but for curiosity. He once wrote on an obscure forum, "I don't want to break things, I just want to know how they breathe." And yet, curiosity can be the most dangerous addiction of all. In late 2020, Norway's cybersecurity unit began detecting a strange breach pattern down. Encrypted files copied at irregular intervals, exfiltrated through cloud servers registered in Moldova, then redirected through a gaming chat platform. The signature was almost playful, packets tagged with fragments of internet slang. Analysts called it the meme. At first, they thought it was a prank. Then one of the leaked archives turned up on a darknet forum. Classified satellite imaging and defense protocols, buried inside a zip file named Shrek Posting Final Zip. It was ridiculous, and it was terrifying. Elias was living alone in a 10-square-meter apartment in Trondheim. He worked remotely for a cybersecurity firm, patching vulnerabilities by day and exploring them by night. He was brilliant, underpaid, and invisible. One night, while scrolling through a meme server, he joked about having spicy government leaks. A stranger responded with a laughing emoji and a private message. That stranger wasn't who he said he was. Behind the avatar of an anime frog was a recruiter for a private intelligence group with vague connections to a foreign contractor, a shell company operating out of Dubai, funded through cryptocurrency and oil intermediaries. They didn't want to hire Elias. They wanted to befriend him. And they did. It started small. They sent him GPU parts for his gaming rig, invited him into private chats where he finally felt seen. He'd shared jokes, code snippets, digital pranks, nothing serious, until one day they asked him to test a firewall. Just for fun. Just to see if he could. He could. He always could. Within weeks, he was handing over encrypted keys, system maps, and internal protocols. At first, he thought it was harmless. Then, when they sent him $5,000 in Bitcoin and a meme of Pepe, the frog wearing a crown, he realized what he'd done. He'd sold his country's secrets, and the receipt was a meme. When the breach went public, the headlines were surreal. Defense files hidden inside meme folder. Anonymous hacker leaks state secrets for internet clout. Governments blamed foreign actors. But the truth was stranger and sadder. Elias had no political motive, no grand ideology, just a digital craving to be noticed in a world that had stopped looking. Experts later called it the attention heist, a new kind of espionage where the currency isn't power or money, it's relevance. There's a haunting psychology behind it. Researchers from Cambridge found that isolated hackers often chase digital validation the way others chase love, the dopamine echo of someone finally saying, "You're brilliant." For Elias, that validation came wrapped in irony and memes, the language of his generation. Humor became armor. Sarcasm became truth. Until one day, he couldn't tell the difference. When Norwegian authorities finally traced the breach, they didn't knock down his door with guns and sirens. They waited, watched, gathered evidence, until one quiet morning, while he was editing a meme about cats and communism, the door opened. He didn't resist. He didn't even look surprised. He reportedly said, "I knew this would be funny until it wasn't." The interrogation transcripts paint a portrait of someone almost childlike in his reasoning. He admitted everything, the chats, the data, the transfers. He even showed agents the mem folder where he hid the files. Inside, thousands of images, and buried between them, the blueprints of the country's secure satellite grid. When asked why, Elias said, "I just wanted to make them laugh." The agents didn't laugh. But behind the absurdity, experts saw something deeper, a symptom of the new digital age, where humor, irony, and nihilism blur into ideology, where everything, even treason, becomes content. A cybersecurity analyst interviewed later put it like this: "The internet raised a generation that hides sincerity behind irony. For some of them, nothing is serious until everything is." And that's the tragedy of Elias Kane. He didn't hack for power. He hacked because he thought it didn't matter. Because online, nothing feels real. Not governments, not consequences, not even yourself. In prison, he reportedly wrote short messages on napkins and passed them to guards. One of them read, "If a joke can destroy a nation, maybe the nation was already a joke." Another simply said, "I miss the internet." He's currently serving 12 years. No interviews, no access to technology, no memes. His story became a cautionary tale among digital security circles, a meme that turned into a mirror. Because Elias wasn't the first, and he won't be the last. Across the world, data leaks are now being gamified. Hackers live stream intrusions. They rank exploits like high scores. They joke while collapsing economies. Every generation has its Judas. But this time, betrayal didn't come wrapped in silver coins. It came in pixels, in a low-resolution meme sent across the cloud at 3 a.m. And somewhere, in a cell surrounded by silence, a man who once found comfort in the noise of the internet now faces the emptiness he tried to escape. When you peel back the layers of this story, it isn't really about hacking or espionage. It's about loneliness, the search for identity in the infinite mirror of the web. It's about how humor became a mask, and how sometimes the mask forgets it's there to hide a face. Elias Kane wasn't a villain. He was a reflection of a generation caught between irony and meaning. He wanted to be remembered for a laugh, but he'll be remembered as a warning. And maybe that's the saddest meme of all, because in the end, it wasn't ideology or money or politics that sold a country's secrets. It was a joke that no one thought would matter, until it did.